So, Craig, just talk about the SEC Championship, first time since 1988. Just what does that mean to the program as a whole?
I mean, a lot. You know, it's you try and compete, you set goals to win championships, and that's your objective when you're in a conference like the SEC. And you know, being close several times, it's good to get it done. And again, I just always wanted the players to feel what it's like to win a championship. And a lot of hard work came to fruition, and the ability to get it done. And knowing, you know, after we lost to Florida that we had to win 7 straight or something like that, it's you know, it's a challenge, and the team showed a lot of toughness getting it done. So.
Now, as a result of that, you get to host the first and second rounds here in Memorial. Just talk about what an advantage that is.
Well, I mean, we've hosted before and had the opportunity to do that, and I'd say the excitement, and enthusiasm of the volleyball community in Lexington is off the charts right now with the growth of the sport in the state and this city, obviously. So. Our success of club volleyball, the success of the high school volleyball around the area has been huge, and for us to be able to host an event like this, I think continues, you know, our deal of always wanting to grow the game of volleyball, and I think we're seeing it before our eyes. And you know, to be honest, I think we're seeing a movement of attendance in college volleyball right now across the country, and it's pretty special to be a part of.
You talked about the growth of volleyball in this state. You guys won a conference championship along with Louisville and Western Kentucky. You played both of them. What does that say about volleyball in this state? How much did that prepare you guys moving forward?
You know, I didn't even think about that until you brought it up. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, for all 3 of us to be able to win a conference championship from the same state, I don't know how many other states have 3 universities like that have done it, but that's an awesome accomplishment for a state the size of 3 million to be able to do that in conferences like we play in. So I think it says a heck of a lot about the grassroots of the sport in the state. I think it says a lot about the commitment of the universities to make the sport important. I think it says a lot about the ability of the coaching staffs at each university to, you know, I don't care how good you are, to be able to sustain success over a long period of time is difficult, and just what a great year for our sport.
What do you like about your matchup tomorrow?
Well, I like the fact we get a chance to play again. I like the fact that we're playing against a team that did win their league, did have success, because you know, as a program we need to be prepared. We need to know, you know, what the tendencies are of East Tennessee, and they're very well coached, very organized, very disciplined. Lindsay does a great job, and they have a bunch of players that can score points. So it's our job to try and figure out how to take advantage of our size at the net.
What you guys accomplished last week? What's the process been like of turning the page to the next step? Have you had to do anything different this week yourself?
Probably doing a good job of just fine-tuning some things and keeping them fresh and motivated at the same time. So, you know, I think being off from Friday is probably about as long a break as we've had. So trying to manage when we practice, when we don't practice, and it's, you know, I don't worry about our players individually. They're a very competitive group and very tough, so I know they'll be ready to compete. Just, you know, probably the first 10 or 15 points, we're going to probably have to iron out some things because we've had a little bit of a break here, and just be patient and try and work back into our rhythm that we had at the end of the conference season.
A lot made out of your consecutive freshman of the year, but this senior class is big and largely all contribute. How important does that make this season where you could make a deep run?
You know, I've used this word a lot in the last month or so that people ask who we recruit and what type of players you look for, and you need to have, no matter how good an athlete you are, you got to care. You got to care about yourself. You got to care about leading yourself. You got to care about your university. You got to care about your teammates. And you know, I don't use that word lightly because it's very important no matter what you do. But this group of seniors cares one heck of a lot about each other, and they care a lot about the legacy that they leave with this program. And I challenged them last summer. I said, you know, my challenge isn't to have a great year. My challenge to you guys is to leave this program in better shape than it was when you got here. And I think they took that to heart, and we've made a big step towards that, and I think they are motivated, and they are as excited to see someone on their team do well as they are, you know, for themselves to get recognition, and I think that's a special quality.
Craig, you've been here 13 years in the coaching profession. That can be like an eternity.
Seems like in college football right now. Holy cow.
What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in those 13 years in the sport program itself?
Probably a couple things. One is the physicality of our athletes. my first coaching job in 1994, we had one player that touched over 10 feet. And we have 8 players on this team that touch well over 10 feet and a couple of them over 10.6. So the physicality and the dominance at the net is something that, I think right now is at all-time high. So you see some impressive blocks, you see some impressive kills, you see kids hitting the ball 50, 60 miles an hour. That's an exciting thing to see. And in our sport, in women's volleyball, the net is 7 feet 4 inches. In men's volleyball, it's 8 feet. So in basketball, the rim is the same height. In our sport, you see the power and the athleticism, the jump, that is pretty exceptional. I think the other thing that we're seeing is that we have now probably second and third generations of mothers that played college volleyball, and now they have daughters and they have granddaughters that are playing the sport. So I'm not kidding, the movement of people watching our sport in the stands is impressive, and the number of people watching this game. So along with that comes expectations, comes accountability to the coaches and players to be really good, and that excites me because when I took the job, Mitch challenged me to make this a nationally prominent program, and I didn't want to go to a place that didn't care about that. And so I think almost every program you see, they care about how well you do, and that motivates us, I think, on a daily basis.
Back to the match last Friday, you guys got in that hole in the first set, respond. You guys have done that sort of thing a lot this year. How much does that bode well in the tournament?
Yeah, it's important. I mean, you want to be in tough situations. You want to be down and learn how to fight back. You want to be in big crowds to know what that feels like. You want to have media coverage to know that there's distractions and things going on to try and narrow your focus. But I won't put anything past this team. They've showed some toughness in situations like that I think is the sign of a mature team. And it's one of our themes all year is be where your feet are. And regardless of the score, you still have to execute this point, and our mind is elsewhere. We're not going to be at our best at that point in time. So that's important. We've been down 2-0. We've been tied 1-1. We've lost 3-0. We've won 3-0. So a variety of different scenarios is very good, I think, as you head into postseason.
Craig, personally, this has to be satisfying for you. I mean, you've had so much success already here before, and yet when you see all the media coverage and fan support for this team this year, do you ever look back on it and just say, well, this is the way it should have been all the time?
It's certainly gratifying, because you come into coaching as a teacher, you want to see people evolve and develop, and you want to see a program evolve and develop. And when we first got here, there was 100 people in the stands, and my dream was to fill this place up. And we've come close and had huge crowds, and I came from a program that sold out every match. And so the dream was to try and get to that point, match that program, and go beyond. And we're certainly not there yet, but we're knocking on the door, and we continue to knock on the door for a constant championship. We continue to knock on the door to go deep in the NCAA tournament, and you can't do that. And back up a little bit, I didn't want to have a good team. I want to have a great program. So it's gratifying where we are. I'm still motivated to get to a different place.
When the team came to the airport and saw the crowd waiting for them there, the first player through was Olivia Daly, the first player that won this year from the ride. She's seen her role evaporate this year with someone coming in. She was All-American last year. What does it say about her being able to set this bench role, and what does it say about your team?
A lot. It's in August we talked about we have 17 players, and at one time 6 can be on the floor at a time, and we're going to have to. There's nothing wrong with being upset you're not playing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be playing if you're not. It's how you manage that and what type of teammate you are when things don't go exactly how you draw them up. And Olivia's been a rock for us all year. Our practices have been phenomenal, and she's been very good in those practices. And she's been nothing short of a great teammate. And that's a huge advantage that we have right now as people like Olivia Daly understanding how important her role is to our success, even when it's not the same as what it was before.
Craig, talking about expectations you mentioned earlier, did you feel like coming into this season that you had the type of team that can end up having the season you had and be in the spot you're in now?
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of physical talent returning. We had a great recruiting class coming in, and our team talked in January about competing for an SEC championship and going beyond what we have in the NCAA tournament, and so we didn't shy away from setting the expectation high for ourselves, and hasn't been easy, and we've certainly had to overcome some challenges that some people see and some people don't see, and so the physical talent was there, the character was there, the leadership was there. We just had to get the right blueprint in order to kind of chip away at it each day and each week.
You saw Western scrimmage before the season, but what kind of teams must put on the board?
Well, Travis Hudson's arguably one of the top 10 coaches in America. I mean, you just look at his record, his winning percentage, it's ridiculous. And he's got a great team and a great program, and we have to pay attention. But I've seen him a couple times throughout the season, and they're a lot different team now than they were in August, and that's a sign of a great coach and a great team to try and evolve from where you started from. And I think all the teams here actually have done that. East Tennessee started in one place, or in a different place now. We started in one place and different place now. And Notre Dame hasn't been in the NCAA tournament in a long time, but their coach is a national championship coach from Washington, and he's got them playing really well. So it's a great field here in Lexington.
Came into the Florida game that was here in Memorial Coliseum, huge crowd. How did that experience dropping that game? He set you up to be ready for the big crowds this weekend?
Yeah, I think it goes back to it's one of those environments, experiences you need to feel and be a part of to kind of know how to respond and how to perform and play. And it was an opportunity for us to learn a lot about ourselves. And you, as a coach, you kind of think, oh, where do we go from here, and how do we get better? And our benchmarks and stats that we look at each and every match continue to go up after that match. So I like to think we took that loss as an opportunity, and as a team, really impressed with the way we responded.